You look good, Bobby.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we're on. I'm glad to be here today. It's a pleasure to have you join us. And this is a special emphasis that we think is really valuable.
Yes, and I'm glad to be with you today too. We are Mama Bee and Papa Bee, as our grandchildren call us, or the bees.
Right.
And like you, we have spent a lot of time in the kitchen lately during these unusual times we're living through. Just this week, I read in the newspaper about three qualities that we all need during this time, and I was struck by one of them. One was courage, which we certainly need.
Right.
Two was resilience, and the third was connection.
The need for connection. Yeah. We all need that. We miss hugging people, seeing people, being with people, just simply relaxing with people. That's really, and family.
Well, and we all during this time have an opportunity, a unique opportunity to build the connection between us. Yes. And yet sometimes things get in the way. And one of those things we'd like to talk about today.
Before you get to that,
yes.
One of the things that does happen because we are so much sequestered in our homes, so to speak, is that domestic violence is up quite a bit.
Yes,
people that don't know how to deal with dilemmas and issues, it shows up in a time like this.
Another thing that I guess by way of introduction to what we want to talk about, we just read as we were waiting for this to start. And it's a famous quote by Viktor Frankl. And it says, "It's not just what happens to you.
Yes.
It's how you handle what happens to you."
Yes.
And I think
what happens to you.
Yes, I think however you choose to paraphrase that, it's a great piece of advice about handling what happens to you. And today we want to talk about the difficult issue that many families are experiencing, and that is disagreements.
Yes, and I like the idea that we're hosting here, the three things that we're going to talk about, which is in our Marriage for the Everyday book.
It is, in fact, I was going to look up the number it's on for those of you who've been ordering the book and on Amazon and telling us about it. It's page 156. It's 3 simple words for maintaining a connection and keeping that connection, or sometimes restoring that connection during difficult times when you're in disagreement about something.
It's a simple idea.
It's 3 words: stop, look, and listen.
How can you get any simpler than that? And by the way, what we're going to do, Bobby, is what I'd like for us to do, is to say where we are on which of these 3 words is what I need to work on. Each of us needs to. And so what we do is we offer it to you, that as you listen to this, you decide which of the 3 words I need to work on and share it with your partner.
Stop, look, and listen. Well, we'll explain what they are and how simple they are, at least in concept. The first one is stop, and it's a really, really important one.
It is.
In fact, therapists say that the first 30 seconds of an argument are the most important because they determine whether you're going to get anywhere with it or whether you're both going to leave the argument mad and resentful. So the stop is simply to examine what you do, and if it's not profitable, and if it is dividing you and not maintaining that connection between you, stop doing it.
Yes, right.
If you are, for example, an attacker with words, you're mad and you want the other person to know you're mad, that may not be the best way to get to the issue that's dividing you.
But sometimes
you attack, the other person will probably counterattack.
Yes, but I don't like to lose.
Well, that is a decision you need to make about whether you want to maintain the connection more than you want to win the argument.
So the goal is not to win, it is to convey what you need to talk about in such a way that the relationship is encouraged, is built up rather than diminished.
So take a look at what you do as you start the argument and stop doing what doesn't work. For me, I don't necessarily attack, I retreat and then go away and stew over it. I need to stop doing that, and I know I do, and I'm making efforts to correct that. So stop may mean different things for what's happening in your argument, but take a look at it and see what you could do to begin the argument in a fairer way to maintain that connection we all need.
I know some people think before they speak, but I'm really one who speaks before I think.
Ah, really?
Yes, I simply respond immediately to what's going on. And sometimes that turns out humorous, but at other times it's disruptive.
It is. And probably what you think is humorous in that situation may not be received in a way that provokes laughter.
Sounds like you've had experience with that.
Anyway, stop is a simple way to start a disagreement by looking at what's happening with the way you traditionally do it. But there are two others.
Good. Let's look.
The second one is to look. And that means to look behind or underneath the anger. Anger is a secondary emotion, people say. And
it's hard to be angry about anger. I'm angry and I'm angry about it. No, there's usually something behind the anger.
Right. The anger is driven by some emotions that you are experiencing.
And sometimes it comes from your family of origin that you brought right into this relationship. Sometimes it's something immediate. But
so to look for the feelings that are driving the anger is a very useful way to get at why you're experiencing it. For something, do you feel discounted in this? Is it unfair in your estimation? Looking for other feelings that you're experiencing other than just, I'm mad, I'm upset.
I could easily say I'm upset about having to stay at home, having to wear a mask, and all of these things that are going on right now. And I don't want to, I'm fearful about getting the COVID. So, all those things could be churning inside you. And then when you share something or speak, it shows up in the way the tone of your voice or whatever it is.
So stop is useful. Look is useful. And in the looking, during that time while you're looking for the feelings that you can identify and articulate and share with your partner, it's also a calming down period.
Yes.
So the expressing the feelings that you can find that you are experiencing is a useful time to move toward a calmer moment when you can discuss a resolution to the issue.
Sometimes there's just an automatic response from what maybe I say to you. And because of the way I say it, you might have an automatic response to it. Well, I need to look at what is going on around me. I really need to look at that and try to understand the context of it. So then when I do speak, it comes out different and it's more palatable with you.
So the looking is a good practical time to move the two arguers or the two disagreeers toward a more profitable time of dealing with the issue rather than with each other.
Right.
The last of the three simple things is listen. Stop, look, and listen. Easily remembered. Listen simply means that you're mad because you have a point of view toward a particular subject. The other person has a point of view as well.
Yes.
And being willing and able to listen, really listen to that point of view is not only instructive, it sometimes brings new understanding and insight to the subject you're arguing about.
I think I need to listen to my words, not only the tone of them, but what are they? Are they truly conveying what I want to say?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to listen to your words so that I can get the gist of what you're saying and everything.
Yes, and that listen is a discipline. You need to listen so intently that you could even repeat or paraphrase back, reflect back what the person is saying.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you agree with it just because you're saying it back, but it shows both of you, we're hearing the same things here.
Right.
We know the same things. Yes. And that is useful in moving you more toward resolution and keeping connection.
When we were in Taiwan, we used the word Ting.
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 Uh-huh.
Ting.
Yes.
And it meant, because it's characters included, you listen with your eyes, you listen with your ears, and you listen with what you say.
You listen with your heart.
Your heart.
Yes. We were very struck with how much more flavorful Ting was in Mandarin than it was in English. To just say to listen.
It's so much more, has more depth to it and breadth.
Well, let's take those three ideas: to stop, to look, and listen. Which one do you think you need to work on most?
I'm going to say that I need to stop because I need to pay attention to what I am saying, and I need to pay attention to what they're saying, but I need to pay attention to the tone of voice and the impact that I have. Sometimes I get a little louder with you, and I don't even sense that I'm talking louder, but you have an effect on me. You sort of back away like pow, and I don't intend that. So what I want to do is to be more gentle and empathetic in the way I talk. And so I want to stop just speaking and not watching that.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I've considered all three of them about being most useful to me, and I always go back to stop.
You do?
So I'm going to say stop as well.
Okay.
I am trying new ways of beginning our disagreements.
Okay.
The arguments that are going to come to every honest couple, every honest family member is going to have disagreements.
Yeah.
And I need to stop.
And we're no exception on that.
That's certainly true. But I need to stop what I have been doing and get as fast as I can to sharing my feelings with you.
Getting in touch with them.
And this is a discipline for me because you get right logically to the subject, and your tone says, let's have an intellectual disagreement about this, and my logic will convince you.
I'm rational, and you need to be emotional.
I need time to be emotional, and so that's going to be an important time for me.
Okay.
So I need to stop leaving, withdrawing, either
Right.
emotionally or actually physically doing it.
Hit and run.
Yes. And I need to stay there and to get to my feelings, look for my feelings as soon as possible, and to stop assuming that every argument is going to be like it has in the past, but give it a chance.
Yes, right.
Both of us want connection.
We do.
More than we want to win.
That's right.
And so here we are working after 63 years of marriage on 3 little words, trying to figure out how to do this better to make each day more closely connected to each other than we were the day before.
We are always in process as a couple. We don't ever arrive. Mm-hmm. And so we encourage you to stop, look, and listen, and then share with your partner, what do you need to work on? We'll see you next week, we hope. Thank you for attending today.